On this episode, we're going to be taking a look at another budget brand right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at another budget brand, and the budget brand we're looking at today is Mi Campo. I have both the Blanco and the Repo today to do a review of and to tell you about as possibly a good budget option. Both of these tequilas can be found for around under $30 each, so it does fit within the budget brand option. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into how this tequila is made and get into the tasting portion and see what this tequila is all about. All right, so Mi Campo is made out of NOM 1137, which is Cofradia. And for this particular tequila, they use 7-year-old agave that is cooked in brick ovens or brick hornos for 36 hours. Once the cooking is done, they're then gently squeezed. They don't use it to own it because they said it's too rough and it may bring bitterness out of the agave fiber. So instead, they gently squeeze it to extract the sugars out of the agave fibers. And then it is fermented in open air tanks, stainless steel tanks, where they allow the yeast from the citrus trees and stuff nearby to affect the fermentation. Once fermentation is complete, then it is twice distilled in stainless steel pot stills. And then after that, it is then bottled for the Blanco, straight bottled at 40% alcohol by volume. And for the Repo, we'll get into the Repo and talk about the aging of that after we're done with the Blanco tasting. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the tasting portion and see what this tequila is all about. All right, so we're going to start with the Blanco first. So we're good. I love that tight seal. It is an artificial cork on this puppy, so you know it's not going to have any problems with evaporation or leakage. And you heard how tight it was when I pulled it out. It's a good seal. I always like it when they have a good seal. Pour a little bit of the Blanco in the glass. And let's take a look at this puppy. Now, just so everybody knows, these samples were provided by the company for an honest, unbiased review. And so that's exactly what we're going to give them. All right, so looking at it in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. Look at the legs and tears coming down from that. It's going to have a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. So far, so good as far as how this looks. It looks delicious. And then looking at the tequila itself, crystal clear. Just little dashes of light, reflections from my lights in it as well. Looks great. All right. Let's see what we get on the nose on this. Definitely picking up some nice cinnamon, sweet cinnamon notes with a fruity, citrus-like hint to them as well. But definitely some baking spices like cardamom and other like cloves and stuff like that mixed in. Some nice baking spice notes. It's got a nice minerality to it. Definitely picking up a nice minerality from the water that they use. It smells good. It definitely has a nice cooked agave note. It's a little on the grassy side, but also has a nice fruit top note on it. I like it. It smells really nice. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor palette. I'm going to acclimate my mouth to 40% alcohol by volume first. Let it get settled down. And then we'll go into the tasting. All right. Salud. Nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Coats the mouth wonderfully. Getting a nice cinnamon and baking spice note up on the front. Definitely some citrus in there. Also orange peel notes coming through. Little hint of bitterness on it that kind of gives it that orange peel, orange pith kind of note to it. Definitely a little bit of anise in there as well. A little bit of black licorice bitterness in there. Not a whole lot. It's a nice Blanco. I mean, for under $30, absolutely. Yeah, this is a nice Blanco. I definitely would recommend this as a good budget option. This is really enjoyable. I can sit here and sip this and enjoy it with a good stogie, or it would make fantastic margaritas, and for like $23.99 or $23.95 online and at stores, that's a good price for this quality of a Blanco. All right, so let's see what the Repo is like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the Repo tasting. All right, so let's get into tasting the Reposado now. Now, one interesting thing with Cofradia is I always find that a lot of their tequilas have this swampy funk kind of flavor that comes from it. It's kind of like their house flavor. I don't get that in this, which is good, because I'm not a big fan of the swampy funkness in it, which affects a lot of the brands that comes out of there. This one doesn't have it, so I'm kind of happy about that. Haven't tried this brand before, so this is kind of nice to be able to experience this and know what we got in it. So looking at the Repo now. Now the Repo, they use Napa wine barrels. They use French oak Napa wine barrels to rest the tequila in to get the flavor profile for the Repo. So if you're a French oak person, hopefully we have some nice French oak flavor notes in here, because I do love a good French oak rested and aged tequila. All right, so let's take a look at this in the glass. In the glass, it coats the glass wonderfully. Look at the legs coming down and the tears coming down from it. Looks great. It's got a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Looking at the tequila itself, it is a nice kind of straw color. Yeah, crystal clear. Looks wonderful. Looks great. I don't see any issues with this so far. All right, let's see if we get on the nose on this. Still picking up that nice cinnamon and baking spice note in the front. The nose on this one's kind of interesting. There's definitely kind of like a it definitely has a grape note on the top of it. Definitely kind of a fruit note mixed in with some vanilla and caramel notes kind of together. It gives it a kind of an interesting nose on it, where it's not as easy like to pick the vanilla and the caramel and stuff out separately. They kind of come together with this like almost grapey fruit note, but it's a little more like a tart fruit note that I'm getting from it. And then I'm getting a good vanilla note mixed in with that, and some caramel in it as well. It has an interesting nose. I like it. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Salud. Coats the mouth beautifully. A nice sweet cinnamon note up front, followed by a little hint of cherry and grape, and then a nice vanilla note, followed by some caramel that kind of just sits on the tongue at the end. This is a nice Reposado. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. I could definitely see myself sipping this with a nice stogie. And when I'm, hanging out and doing stuff in the garage or in the backyard, there's nothing wrong with this at all. This is really enjoyable. There's no burn to it. So it's really easy, or as somebody like to say, smooth. It's really smooth. Really easy to drink. It goes down real easy. Has a nice flavor profile. Yeah, this is good for under $30. This is a deal. This is actually a really nice tequila. So I highly recommend both the Blanco and the Repo across the board. I'm going to give this brand a solid 4 agave for Mi Campo as a budget brand. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something inexpensive. It's great. Now, it's not going to set the world on fire. It's not going to be something that's, completely, raising the bar on anything. But as far as like a really nice budget option, this one fits the bill. This is a really nice budget option. All right, well, there you go. If you like the information I share with you in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome, and hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time we post a new review or informational video that will help you in selecting better tequila options so you have the best possible experience you can when drinking tequila. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you wanted to pick up Mi Campo at your local store for under $30, I say go for it. It's really enjoyable. Salud. Bye, guys.